First at 5 for a second straight day. The former Grand Rapids police officer accused of killing a man after a traffic stop earlier this year was in court.
Christopher Schurr is charged with second-degree murder in the shooting death of Patrick Lyoya. After testimony wrapped up today, a Grand Rapids judge said that he would issue a ruling Monday on whether Schurr will stand trial. Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker was in the courtroom and joins us now from the newsroom with more. Ken.
Brian and Michelle, the judge must decide, should this murder case go to trial, or was the officer justified in taking the life of Patrick Lyoya?
Detective McCursey said.
In front of a packed courtroom as tears streaked the face of Patrick Lyoya's mother, the prosecution and defense argued over whether the officer who killed her son should stand trial for murder or if the case should be thrown out.
This is the moment the shot is fired, okay? As a matter of law, can the court say this is necessary to prevent a felon's escape? That this is immediately, there's self-defense that's immediately necessary when Patrick's lying face down on the ground with the tasers not even pointed at him?
Lyoya, a 26-year-old native of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, was shot in the back of the head on April 4th by then Officer Christopher Schurr after a tussle that included Lyoya grabbing the officer's taser. Schurr, who was later fired by the police department, is charged with second-degree murder.
That this is something for a jury to decide. The Hampton case that we cite, this is something for a jury to decide. Self-defense is something for a jury to decide. And it's going to be up to 12 people from Kent County to make this decision as to whether this is reasonable or whether this is necessary.
Defense attorneys argued that Schurr was following training when he shot Lyoya. For one, they say Lyoya became a felon when he resisted arrest after the officer had stopped him over a bad license plate. Schurr, they argued, couldn't just let him go.
If Patrick Lyoya had run somebody over or had gone to a school, which were nearby, we'd be calling him something else. At a minimum, we'd be calling him a coward. And so we're calling him a murderer here because he didn't let him go.
And Lyoya, they argued, remained a threat, even as he was face down, still struggling with Schurr on top of him.
You have a person who will not comply, who grabs a taser, who ultimately takes the taser from his left hand to his right. So at some point, it got transferred and is turning.
Before the oral arguments, Schurr's former training officer testified that the officer did nothing wrong that day.
Would it be fair to say that imminent danger was at issue here?
Yeah, that'd be reasonable to say.
After the hearing, the prosecutor said he expects the judge will send the case up to Kent County Circuit Court for trial. Is there any way to justify a shot in the back of the head?
Well, that's ultimately what that's what this case is about. I mean, so I don't want to say too much. That's going to be up to, that's what the judge is going to weigh in, and we think it should go to a jury.
The defense said he believes the officer committed no crime.
I don't know that I've seen an officer who is making a lawful arrest while on duty be charged with murder in the state of Michigan. I think it's unprecedented.
How can you justify, though, a shot in the back of the head? I mean, I think isn't that what it comes down to?
Well, the rule isn't if you shoot them in the back of the head, it's murder, but if you shoot them in the front of the head, it's not. There is absolutely no authority for the fact that where you shoot them matters when it comes to deadly force.
Now, the judge says he plans to release a written ruling on the case at 10 a.m. Monday. Brian?
All right, and we will follow that, obviously. Ken, thank you for that report. When the judge makes his decision on if Schurr will stand trial, we will bring that to you. You can check out our full coverage online right now at woodtv.com.